Hey guys, Chandra here, and I do not have a microphone, but I am going to go ahead and start recording this so that I can finish out this part 9 of the Lunch and Live series talking about shame. And as a subtopic, just talking about he is not afraid of my ugly. So hopefully you can hear me. Again, I don't have a microphone. I have one, but I actually don't have it with me right now. I'm going to go ahead and get started and just kind of go over something that's kind of been brewing in my heart and in my spirit. Last we talked about the shame of financial loss. And when I read a particular scripture, I talked about the prodigal son in Luke 15:14 through 16. And that scripture just really kept stirring in my heart. Um, and how many of you all are feeling despondent, meaning you're feeling a sense of extreme discouragement, a feeling, or maybe you're showing extreme discouragement, or maybe you just, you have a lot of regret. And again, as we talk about the topic of shame, the purpose of this topic and addressing these things is that we're no longer hiding. We're no longer suppressing it. We're no longer putting it under. We're no longer making it where we are not addressing the source, going directly to the root of the problem. Remember, a lot of times when we have ugly things in our heart, the first response is to hide it or to to cover it or to, act like it doesn't even exist. But when you look at people's eyes, you see it all in their eyes. They're despondent. Or maybe they're even just blank faced. But the reason we're talking about this is that we can address it and we can tackle it and we can allow God to heal it so that we can move on. So one of the things that kind of really stuck out to me talking about the topic of shame, I want to talk about the prodigal's shame. And this might hit a nerve for some of you guys tonight, because the prodigal son, we talk about how he requested from his father to give him everything that was owed him. And then he went and he spent everything that he had. And how many of you all have asked God for certain things? I mean, you begged him for that house, you begged him for that car, you begged him for that woman, you begged him for that man. God, if you give them to me, I'm gonna do the right thing. But we find, just like the prodigal son, that a lot of us have spent, like we've squandered, we've wasted, we've consumed the very thing that was meant to bless us and get us to the next level. We've allowed it to take control over our lives. And again, I'm in a public place, so this may um a lot of noise may come forth. But James 4:3 says, "You ask and you receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust." And God knows our heart. And sometimes we've asked, He didn't give it to us, but we found a way to get it ourselves, right? And just like the prodigal son, we didn't do the right thing with the very thing that we allowed to come into our heart. So I'm going to read to you guys um, what that word actually means. I mean, we know what it means to squander, right? But do you know what the definition of it means? Let's say to waste something, especially money or time, in a reckless or foolish manner. And a lot of us have squandered things in our life that God has given us. And now we're looking back, just like the prodigal son, in regret. We squandered opportunities, we squandered relationships, we squandered friendships, material things, and now we're feeling despondent or we're feeling an extreme sense of discouragement. And I'm in the Michigan area, and I think today a young lady who was divorced was killed by her ex-husband. And I look in this man's face and, you know, I can't speak for the relationship because I have no idea. But a lot of times, people will squander the very thing that God gave them. They'll squander that relationship. And then after they've messed up in a particular way, they've, um, you know, messed up, they've damaged that person. And then they look back and they say, well, um, I made a mistake. But there are some opportunities, there are some friendships, there are some relationships that we may not get a second chance to fix or to correct, right? So when we are given that opportunity, we're given that friendship, we're given that relationship, we're given that material thing, we have to do the right thing. Um, Psalm 42:11 says, why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? He's speaking to his soul. And that's what shame does. It robs you of happiness. It robs you of joy. It gives you and makes you have the feelings of regret. And so, as we talk about the topics of shame, and I bring up these different things, the goal, again, is not to cause condemnation, but to cause you to think about the things that are causing you to walk around with your face sunken, your head down, despondent, deep senses of discouragement and regret. No, we're going to tackle it. We're going to address it. We're going to take accountability for our actions and how we caused the things that are happening in our lives. And we're going to give those things to God. Remember, He's not afraid of my ugly, and He's definitely not afraid of yours. All right, God bless you. You have a great night.